Welcome to another episode of the Electric Norwegian. I'm Mats and this is Robert.
Hello.
And this, if you've been following the channel for a few years now, you know this is the big one. This is the Porsche Taycan. And I would love to say now that this is the fastest car we've ever tested here. Sadly it isn't, because it is not the turbo, nor the turbo is, it is just the 4S. Yes. I've always said that when Porsche gets around to making a sports car, they will do it properly, and because there is no mucking about, and it really isn't.
Porsche doesn't do anything halfway.
Exactly, and these seats, I want to take them with me home in the car. I mean, they're proper sports seats without being too narrow and too uncomfortable. They remind me a bit of the seats in the Jag, actually. So, what do you think after the first 2 kilometers in the car?
Can we buy it?
Yeah, I wish I could. Trade in the Tesla. Because the range is a lot lower than my car.
Yeah, but it charges faster.
Yeah, they are on the charger, which costs about 3 times as much. Should I turn this thing off? There. Let's put on quiet on me. Oh! You can hear the drivetrain here much more than you can in my car. The front motor. A lot more than I thought you would, actually. And also the back axle sounds like an old... I know they have a gearbox in there, but I didn't expect it to sound like one. Crikey, this is quick. Go past, motorcycle. Thank you, Mr. Ducati man. And the steering is really nice. The interior, there's a lot of screen in this car. There is a lot more screen in here than there is in my car, that's for certain.
It's green all the way.
Yeah, and that screen on the passenger side, I don't remember the price of it, but it's not free. I can tell you that nothing in here is free. It's a Porsche. They
don't give out anything for free.
Noise levels in here. Well, it's not quiet, is it?
I think it's more quiet than the Tesla.
I think it's on par with the Tesla. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's more. It's not any less noisy than my car. Not much, anyway. This is on Norwegian pretty bad asphalt, mind you. But you feel the car is a lot more shrink-wrapped around you as a person than the Tesla is. It's not. It doesn't feel. I know it has a big glass roof and everything, but it doesn't feel as spacious as you first might think when you see the car. I do like this display. You can put it up and to show different modes and different kinds of info. You have a G-force meter on one side, and you have other kind of information on the other. We're now at 80% battery, for instance. Running the cruise control. Adaptive, of course. Let's get back to sport.
But I have to say something.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little bit afraid of how it would be to get into the car.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, it's a low car.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fairly easy.
That's good. Any problems with the seats? They are very sporty and sculpted after all. No? Okay. So this Robert approved that. You also have air suspension here, and you have the...
I don't have air suspension.
No, you don't. You should have sometimes. The drive mode switch on the steering wheel, which is Porsche's answer to the Mandantino button in the Ferrari. You put it in Sport and Sport Plus and all the modes, as it were. I don't really know if there is a big difference or not. Yeah, it's more responsive in Sport and Sport Plus, and it stiffens up a little bit. And I must say that Taycan, this is in white, this is probably the closest setup to the concept, Mission E concept car, and it does look. Okay, I'll take it back to the road noise and a bit. Now we're doing about the speed limit. Well, you know, it's not that bad really, but of course the tarmac here is rather awful, to be honest.
Yeah.
And we're on, I don't know, big inch tires.
I'm sorry that I'm a little bit. I tried to find the surprises.
This car for us, probably around $1 million Norwegian, which is about $100,000. To use the screens are, well, I don't know, a little bit. I mean, they're okay, but it is just too small and too, you know. It has a rattle, by the way. This one, they have several demo cars. They are including a turbo, and that was sadly out now. But you know, beggars can't be choosers and all that stuff, so that's what we got. But I'm not complaining. This is.
Why?
I mean, in theory, it might have a little bit more power and quite a lot. What did you say the torque figure was? 600 Newton?
Yeah, 600. That is something.
Yeah, around 600 Newton, and I'm not entirely certain of the torque figure of the Model 3 long range. I think it's about 500. And you can feel that. It feels much stronger than mine. Not necessarily more powerful, but stronger and more relentless.
I give up. You can't design this car.
Okay.
Because when I push Taycan, I get cable.
Yeah,
I'm boxed up.
Could have just asked him to sell it for the price. We're like, let's go. Jesus, this is a good car. Holy mother. Lord, that's great. This is such a rapid car. I mean, I'm used to the Model 3, and that's a good car, but this is in another league entirely. And the steering feel, and the suspension. Even, it's now in, I think it's in Sport. Take it over in Sport Plus. No, it wasn't Sport Plus, in fact. It's not harsh, not at all. This is a properly set up car, this is. Opa. Yes, it's a license-losing machine. I mean, in the Tesla is a relatively very fast car, but this is not a chance. Not a chance. And I've probably devoured. I was at 80%. Now I'm at 77. The voltage is 100. Is 13.4 on the 12-volt system. By the way, if you wondered.
Oh my god.
Here we go. And I changed gear there. You feel that? That was a gear change in an electric car. Porsche did what Tesla never managed to do, give this car a 2-speed gearbox on the back axle there. And it's... and then you're back on just a trailing throttle like this, and it just handles everything so nicely. And yes, the steering wheel, it's a small wheel, but it's not very thick. Like the Tesla is small and relatively thick. But it is so well, the shape of it is so pleasant.
Is this the adaptive sports seats?
Maybe, I haven't really figured them out all that much. I don't really care. Whoopa. And the brakes on this car. I mean, people have been arguing a little bit lately on the Tesla brakes on track and everything. And
I found it.
I always thought the brakes were a little bit too small for the car's power and weight, but these brakes, they're massive, as you will see on the outside. They're huge. The calipers are immense. So this stops properly well. Yes.
I found it.
The prices.
Yeah. The touchscreen for passenger, 1,000 euros.
Holy Jesus!
And if you want a Burmeister 3D high-end surround sound system,
And you do.
it's another 5,800 euros.
One thing this car doesn't do, because it's set up not to do that, it has regen, just not actively on the. You have to brake to use it to get that going.
470 euros, you get the DAB.
The digital radio.
Yeah.
That's standard in Norway, isn't it? It has to be.
Not in Porsche. It's recommended by Porsche.
Okay, right. Of course it is.
It's a Porsche.
Yes.
Are you stupid? Yeah.
250 kilometers left of range, and we left with what, 300 and something?
I think so.
Okay.
The electric sport sound,
Yeah.
almost 500 euros.
5,000 NOK for that sound.
Yes.
Right. It's not worth that much. I mean, it's fun, but you know.
And you can expand this car comes with 79.2 kilowatt hour battery.
Yeah.
You can expand that to 93.4.
Yeah, because you can get this car with the turbo battery pack, which is confusing.
And that costs you almost 6,600 euros.
Yeah, but that's, I think, is okay, because if you're gonna go traveling a lot, then you need the range, and you can't, you know, that's kind of the hardware, and you can't change that. So that's well spent money, I think. And it's a very sneaky way of Porsche getting the money back on the battery pack as well. I mean, I've been saying now for a year that the Jag is the most fun you can have in a car, an electric car anyway. But I think this is even better. It's definitely not worse.
And if you want an electric charging door,
Yeah.
with sensor,
Yeah, the automatic one.
yeah, it's 610 euros.
Right. Well, I think I'll push it then. The hardship of pushing open the charge door.
Onboard DC charger, 150 kilowatt,
Yeah.
410
Yeah, and that
euros.
really should be standard on a car like this, because it's an 800 volt system. You have to have a step on the to take 150 on 400 volt, and that should be standard in this car, because otherwise you just have 50 kilowatt, and that's not too crappy on this big battery pack. But being Porsche, of course they charge you extra for it. How much did you say again for the 150 charging?
410 euros.
Well, okay.
And if you want to collect this car up in Zuffenhausen, it's almost 1,000 euros.
Of course, they charge you to collect the car at the place it was built instead of, so they don't have to ship it to you, and that's a fantastic idea. I mean, imagine you getting a customer to pay you to pick their car up, and you don't have to do the shipping and all that other jazz. So you save money and you get paid. That's fantastic. That's well done. Oh, I like this car. At least the simplicity of the Porsche and of the Tesla somewhere. And it's not as airy as I would like. And sunroof. I mean, it's massive.
But it's not all, for those 1,000 euros you don't only get to pick up the car, you get
A tour of the museum, I
tour,
hope.
to see how the car is built.
Okay.
Behind the scenes.
Well, that's nice. And you get a museum tour, maybe?
Yeah.
Ah, that's almost worth it. The museum. If you like cars and you're in Germany, you have to go to Stuttgart, because Stuttgart, you have one side of it, you have the Mercedes Museum and track and all that jazz. The other side of town, you have the Porsche Museum and the factory and all that. And it's really nice. It's really, really nice. And the Mercedes Museum, it's not only cars, you have trucks, you have...
The whole history of Mercedes.
They have built so much. And they did that as well then. Put the wipers on while I was supposed to put it in drive. Oh well, old habits, I guess. So you can see the interior is a lot of screen, and you use the small screen to the lower screen to steer the one in the middle, if you want. And you also have the passenger, which is just a replica of one of the other screens. But of course, if you want to run say you're on drive somewhere and you want to run a nav search or something, you can just the passenger can do it for you, or be a DJ, you know. It's okay. The central screen can be... Oh, now I have to do something here. I have to... come on. I have to put the car in lift mode. So I get over this bump without crashing. Yeah. And we can put it in low again. There's a suspension ride. It's really nice.
That thing is made for me. Because when I have to go out of the car, you can lift it.
Yep. And you also have I found you can turn the regen on. It's not a Tesla or an i3, but it's there. But they've done this purposefully, because their argument is that when you drive actively, you want to control speed with your brake pedal. I argue that if you can't control all speed with one pedal, your modulation is better. But I guess it is habit, and I will not argue with them. They do what they do. As you can see, in space, interior-wise, well, you know, I don't know. It's not the biggest back seats in the entire world, and the roof, not the roof. The front is bigger than the Model 3. Probably as big as an S, maybe. Not entirely certain. The boot, as it were, isn't very deep or anything like that. It's okay, but you know, you could do better, really. But then again, of course, that would have messed with the proportions of the car and so on. Now, this is, of course, a saloon car or a sedan. So it's not a hatchback, as you can see, and that has its pros and cons. If you don't like it, then buy another car. It's very simple. It will come in a touring version, in a what's it called? A wagon, I guess, a station wagon, within, I don't know, next year or something. It's supposed to, and I can tell you, they look brilliant. They look a little bit like the Panamera station wagon, if you've seen those. I saw a few of them, a few test mules at the charge station in Norway, and they really look good. The Porsche is, well, it's a Porsche. It's very well executed. The materials are mostly nice. It rides very well. It's a bit noisy, but then again, it rides on big wheels and it handles.
Oh, and this seat has memory seats as well.
Yeah, it has memory, both passenger and driver. And this makes the Tesla Model 3 feel like, I don't know, sloppy. The steering isn't sloppy, but the suspension in this car is very good.
Not too much.
The steering in this car is very nice, very well weighted too. Then you have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think, You have range mode, which you don't use. Normal, sport, and sport class, and individual.
How to show you this then? Very cool. Oopsie. Very cool key fob.
Yeah,
Comes in the same color as the car, and it's formed like the car.
it's really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's key fobs go, you know. Might as well make it nice.
Yeah. We have to thank
Porsche Center in Zon.
Norway's biggest Porsche center.
Is it?
Yes.
Well, I thought that was in Oslo. Of course, they have the Classic Center. There are 2 Classic Centers in Europe. One of them is there, and the other one is in the Netherlands. And they build roofs as well. And they've been building roofs for, well, it's a long story and it's a complicated one, but I could say about 30 years. And what you see when you get there, at least now, is a yellow old 996 roof turbo R, which is rather fun. So there you have it then, the Porsche Taycan. Is it all we hoped it to be, would be? Even this standard kind of cheap version? Cheap?
It costs. Well, the base price is slightly a little bit under 100,000 euros, but it's a Porsche, so I don't think you can get it under 100,000 euros because you have to add things to it.
Jesus, this is a good car to drive around on roads like this.
So I think Mats is very pleased.
They've delivered everything I thought they would, and they've done it.
How is it to finally drive a Porsche again?
Well,
I know you have always been fond of Porsches, and
well, once you own it, this is a relatively heavy car. It's 2,100 kilos. I said the Jag felt light, and the Jag is a very, very competent car. This is even better. So, yes, a big thumbs up from me. Yeah, so yeah, if you don't mind, I'll enjoy myself while I can, and then I have to deliver this thing. I really don't want to deliver it. So we'll see you in the next one. Do take care and like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz.
see you on the video. Bye bye.
Bye.